Mr. Fleming, in your books there's a great amount of detail. Is this detail based on personal experience? Do you make it up? Where does it come from?
Well, I can say it's 90% from personal experience, really. I wouldn't say the espionage detail is, because although I worked in naval intelligence during the war and got mixed up in a lot of shenanigans, of course, if I started sticking too close to the espionage, true espionage work of today, I should be in trouble with the Official Secrets Act in England.
Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually going to talk about a TV show that is currently on Netflix right now. And of course, because it's got to do with the iconic character James Bond, today's wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Rolex Submariner. Wristwatch check done. Let's get on with the show.
Story to end all spy stories.
Do you write too?
I collect.
What exactly?
Things that take my fancy.
A gas pistol disguised as a fountain pen, a shaving brush with secret cavities. You can't win an intelligence war with toys.
I disagree.
I want someone from outside the system. Someone with the guts to play dirty.
Best behavior, Fleming. We don't need a diplomatic incident.
You followed me.
That's the game, isn't it?
Do you? Maybe.
So what's your spy gonna be like?
He can be whoever I want him to be.
Your fantasy. Is that who he is?
Fleming, the man who would be Bond.
Okay, welcome back guys. Now, I haven't done a kind of cultural or movie review, or actually I haven't even done a book review for quite some time. I've just been so taken with the watches. Anyway, this weekend I had the pleasure of rewatching a fantastic little BBC series called Ian Fleming, The Man Who Would Be Bond. And I gotta say, second time around it was just as enjoyable as the first time around. And as we're slowly getting closer and closer to the big release of the newest Bond film, Spectre, why not share this fantastic series with you guys? If you're a massive James Bond fan, or an Ian Fleming fan for that matter, and you have not seen this series, it's fantastic. It's currently streaming on Netflix. I don't know how long it's going to be on Netflix, and it really is fantastically made. Now, this is a BBC show, so bear in mind, you know, the dear old Beeb don't have the massive budgets that American TV shows have. But having said that, they did a marvelous job. I thought the casting was fantastic, the costumes, the sets. But above all, what makes this show so great is the acting and the actual script. I thought it was, some parts were hilarious, really got the spirit of Ian Fleming so well. And even the music was bordering on famous John Barry themes, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. And if you are a Bond fan and you have not seen this, you will absolutely love it. Most of it, it's a really fantastic kind of background to how the Bond character came about through the adventures of Ian Fleming during the Second World War. There's Dominic Cooper, who plays Ian Fleming. Then there's Lara Pulver, who plays Lady Anne O'Neill, who's Ian Fleming's love interest, who I must say, she's not actually my type of woman, but she's just so kind of conniving and sexy and just bad that I can't help but find her very attractive. It's a very peculiar thing, because she's not my type at all. But I must admit, Lara Pulver is quite, I would classify her as top totty, absolute top totty. Anyway, I'm forgetting what I'm talking about. Yes, The Man Who Would Be Bond. Right. There's also Samuel West, playing Bond's kind of superior in the British Naval Intelligence. Sorry, I keep saying Bond. You see, that's precisely the point. It really kind of delves into the. In many ways, Ian Fleming is much more James Bond than James Bond ever will be. You know, there's just so many kind of parallels, and you'll see that, and you'll find it fascinating how Fleming came up with the character based on all these kind of Second World War espionage adventures, and it's just really, really enjoyable. It's a 4-part series, 4-part TV show, and I must admit, me and the wife this weekend, we were glued to it the entire Sunday. We kind of had a marathon Fleming viewing, and it was just fantastic. It played almost like a kind of feature film in itself, just a very, very long one, but it didn't feel that long at all. The writing is absolutely fantastic, and I really love the kind of nuances in conniving and social commentary on the upper classes of during pre-war and then during the wartime, which I thought was really fantastic. I got to say, it was very enjoyable, very fun, and really brings a whole new perspective to the franchise. And at certain points you forget that Fleming is you kind of blur the line between where Fleming ends and where James Bond begins. It was really beautifully done. Despite obviously the BBC not being able to have fantastic budgets that American TV shows are able to have, the costumes, styling was absolutely impeccable, and actually I must say there were parts of it that were really funny. The writing was spot on. It really caught the humour. You can see so much of Ian Fleming's later writing of that typical James Bond kind of chauvinistic humour. Dealt with sexuality and almost kind of S&M sex scenes in quite a grown up and quite well, you know, without being overly explicit. I wouldn't say it's for the whole family. It's definitely for a more mature audience, because you know the James Bond films are, you know, essentially entertainment for the masses, where I think this series really is for a more mature audience. I mean, he was a proper gentleman, but this is a subject that comes back on my channel again and again and again. He's a gentleman in the old sense, that even though he was a cad and behaved atrociously and was having affairs with married women and all the rest of it, and was constantly getting sacked or you know, kicked out of the army or whatever, he's still a gentleman in the old sense of that kind of landed gentry aristocratic rank kind of gentleman, rather than the gentleman, the word we use, that we just, you know, band about, that we just so freely use these days. So that was kind of interesting. I really loved how we got to go on this journey with Ian Fleming, as he started as this kind of rogue bad boy, womanizing loser that was just kind of whittling away his good family's name and inheritance, into this kind of super spy that then turned into a super author, you know. So it's a really fantastic journey, and I thought it did it extremely well. But you know, I stress again, it is for a more mature audience. It's not the mass entertainment James Bond franchise. This is almost kind of the darker behind the scenes, you know, because it does deal with sex, with family disputes, with conniving aristocrats, but what is so rewarding about it is that you almost learn more about James Bond and the films and the franchise than you do watching any James Bond film. But having said that, it was very entertaining and really essential viewing, and if you are a James Bond fan, you got to see this. But I warn you, it's not for the family, it's for the grown-ups, definitely. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Let me know what you thought if you've seen it. If you get to see it, please check it out. It's on Netflix right now, so definitely check it out. And while we eagerly anticipate the new Spectre film, I think this will really really kind of tide you over, and a fantastic, enjoyable viewing for a weekend, definitely. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please remember to like this video if you enjoyed it and found it useful, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. Okay guys, thank you. Ciao.